Jaylen Brown did not need a press conference, a social media post, or a carefully worded statement to respond to the NBA's latest mistake. He let his game do all the talking. And what followed was not just a great performance, not just a career night, but a statement so loud that it echoed across the league. On a night when the Boston Celtics walked into Los Angeles to face one of the hottest teams in basketball, Brown delivered a performance that forced everyone watching to confront an uncomfortable truth. Ignoring him was never an option, and doing so came at a cost. The Celtics' West Coast road trip had already been productive, but the final stop carried a different weight. The Los Angeles Clippers were rolling, playing with confidence, rhythm, and momentum. Intuit Dome was buzzing. The expectation was a tight, competitive game, one that would test Boston's depth and resilience. Instead, what unfolded was a masterclass. The Celtics didn't just beat the Clippers, they dismantled them. A 146-115 victory doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen without leadership, purpose, and someone willing to take control of the game. That someone was Jaylen Brown. From the opening tip, it was clear that Boston came in with intent. There was no feeling out process, no slow start, no adjustment period. Jaylen Brown and Derek White set the tone immediately, attacking the defense with confidence and precision. The ball moved crisply, shots fell early, and the Celtics played with an edge that suggested something deeper than just another regular season win. Within minutes, it was obvious that Brown was locked in. Every move was decisive, every shot was taken with conviction, and every possession carried the energy of a player with something to prove. By the end of the first quarter, Brown and White had already combined for 27 points, slicing through the Clippers' defense with ease. The scoring came in every possible way. Catch-and-shoot threes, tough mid-range pull-ups, floaters over defenders, strong finishes at the rim through contact. The Clippers tried switching defenders. They tried helping early. They tried packing the paint. None of it mattered. Boston had found a rhythm, and Brown was at the center of it. For a stretch, it felt like Brown and White were feeding off each other, trading baskets and pushing the tempo higher with each possession. But as the game moved into the third quarter, something changed. Jaylen Brown shifted gears. The intensity rose, the pace quickened, and suddenly the game belonged entirely to him. The third quarter was where the performance crossed from impressive into unforgettable. Brown caught fire in a way that few players ever do. Shot after shot fell cleanly through the net. Defenders closed out hard, only to be punished. Help defenders arrived late, and Brown attacked them without hesitation. In a single quarter, he poured in 19 points, completely overwhelming the Clippers' defensive schemes. It wasn't reckless scoring. It was controlled domination. Every possession felt inevitable. By the time the third quarter ended, the outcome of the game was no longer in question. What remained was history. Brown finished the night with 50 points on remarkable efficiency, shooting 18 of 26 from the field and knocking down 6 of his 10 three-point attempts. He scored at every level, against every coverage, and with complete command of the floor. Derek White complemented him beautifully, adding 29 points and 7 assists, continuing his own strong stretch of play, and reinforcing how dangerous this Celtics backcourt can be when operating in sync. What made the night even more powerful was the timing. Just one day earlier, Jaylen Brown had been overlooked for the Eastern Conference Player of the Month award. It was a decision that raised eyebrows across the league, especially given Brown's recent production and leadership. He had openly acknowledged the snub, pointing out how often his impact seems to be undervalued. And then he responded in the only way that truly matters in the NBA, by dominating the court against elite competition. This wasn't a performance fueled by anger alone. It was fueled by clarity. Jaylen Brown understood the moment. He understood the narrative, and he understood exactly how to flip it. Rather than forcing shots or chasing numbers, he played within the flow of the offense while still asserting himself as the best player on the floor. That balance is what separates great scorers from true stars. The Celtics' success in this game wasn't limited to their top players. Head coach Joe Mazzulla made a subtle but impactful adjustment to the starting lineup that paid immediate dividends. For the first time in nearly 2 months, Jordan Walsh did not begin the game as a starter. Instead, Sam Hauser was inserted into the lineup, giving Boston more shooting and spacing early. The decision wasn't about punishment or demotion. It was about rhythm, matchups, and maximizing energy. Walsh, coming off the bench, looked rejuvenated. Freed from the pressure of starting and given a clear role, he brought intensity and effort that immediately changed the tone of the second unit. Defensively, he was aggressive and active, contesting shots and disrupting passing lanes. On the glass, he played with urgency, fighting for offensive rebounds and creating extra possessions. By halftime, Walsh had already collected 6 rebounds, 3 of them on the offensive end, showing exactly why the coaching staff continues to believe in his potential. The second half only reinforced that belief. Walsh finished the game with a double, scoring 13 points and pulling down 12 rebounds. It was a reminder that development is rarely linear, especially for young players. Sometimes a step back is exactly what's needed to take 2 steps forward. Boston's bench continued its strong road trip as well. Luka Garza and Anthony Simons once again provided meaningful contributions, building on the chemistry they've developed over the past few weeks. Both players have faced challenges adjusting to Boston's system, but this stretch of games suggests that the pieces are beginning to fit together. Simons was confident and decisive, knocking down 5 of his 8 three-point attempts and finishing with 15 points. His shooting stretched the defense and opened driving lanes for others, adding a new dimension to the second unit. Garza was equally effective, contributing 11 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 defensive plays that don't always show up in the box score but matter just as much. Together, they gave Boston reliable production off the bench, something that was widely questioned entering the season. This game, and this road trip as a whole, offered a glimpse into what the Celtics can be when everything clicks. The loss of key veterans earlier in the year forced Boston to rely on internal growth, adaptability, and leadership. Jaylen Brown has embraced that responsibility fully. He's not just scoring more, he's reading the game better, he's trusting his teammates, and he's setting the emotional tone for the team. There is something different about Brown this season. His confidence isn't loud or performative. It's quiet, steady, and rooted in preparation. He understands when to attack and when to facilitate. He understands how to pace himself over the course of a game. And most importantly, he understands how to rise to the moment when his team needs him most. The NBA is filled with talent, but recognition doesn't always follow performance. Awards, rankings, and narratives often lag behind reality. Jaylen Brown's response to being overlooked wasn't bitterness. It was brilliance. And performances like this make it increasingly difficult for the league to ignore him. As the Celtics move forward, this win will be remembered not just for the score but for what it represented. It showed that Boston can compete with elite teams on the road. It showed that their depth is stronger than expected. And it showed that Jaylen Brown is firmly in his prime, capable of taking over games at the highest level. If this is how Brown responds to being snubbed, the rest of the league should take notice. Because this wasn't just a great night, it was a message. And if you've been sleeping on Jaylen Brown, now might be the time to wake up. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more in-depth Celtics analysis, game recaps, and NBA storytelling like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's next.